So I have this commercial cool 12,000 BTU pedestal air conditioner that's been running for a couple of years off and on. And about 3 a.m. one night, this thing wakes me up making a horrible racket. I thought it was like a blown armature inside the compressor from the weird sound. And I don't know a lot about AC, so maybe someone who knows these things would say otherwise. But I took it apart. Well, actually, I took it out of the wall where I have the hose connected, and I tested it, and it seemed to be fine. So when I put some back pressure here up against the blower exit, the noise came back, and I can describe it as like just kind of this crazy oscillating shashong, 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 shashong sound. And when I first heard it, I thought like my speaker system in my bedroom had a short, and that the subwoofer was going nuts or something. It was a very agitating sound. Turned out to be one of these guys here. So you can see the scarring on the edge, and this is where it cracked. I attempted to fix it with kind of a technique I use, which is like a millipore tape and a super glue that's gel base, like a Loctite gel. I'm guessing this might actually work again, but this plastic is like a very brittle, clear material. It's definitely not a nylon. I don't know what it is. But the specifications of the part, they have a cross, and I'll add the description or the alternate part number in the description. So you can see those details. And actually this tells you what kind of plastic, although that doesn't. ASGF 15 means nothing to me or anybody I know. It's not a poly anything I recognize. But again, I wrote the part number there. So when I dismantled the thing, really the only trick to getting it apart is you have to peel off this entire faceplate. There's a bunch of fingers inside that hold it together, like that one. And then there's these two screws that hold the whole unit together that go through this vanity plate. So I just drilled holes through there, coming this way, and then enlarged the holes because I really don't care how this thing looks that much. I could put some black round over it if I was really concerned, little electrical tape or other vinyl or something. But I intend to come here and clean it periodically, and having to wrestle this faceplate and risking breaking it and then having a rattling sound was really low on my priorities versus just two screw holes that I like to have there. That should have been a rubber chase plug. Excessive trim focus on that. Some other parts on here that could probably go bad on you. There's some bearings inside I can add the part number on, but I was worried it was bearings. But when I found the crack on the fan, I was pretty convinced that it was just the fan. And I mean, as a confession, it was hotter than all heck, and I had the thing on full blast. So at like 72 degrees, this lower half of the unit probably generated too much heat for the stability of that plastic under the conditions of its age and wear. But just to be clear, this area here might look a little dirty right now. It was filthy. So that probably added to the heat being trapped in that space. And I cleaned that up a bit, and that's why I've left the new holes in the front so I can take it apart every couple of years and give it a good heavy cleaning. I don't know a whole lot about these systems. This cable here, you might have to detach while you're working on it. It has two teeth that point on the far side, and if you look, you'll be able to see that. Don't plug it in 180. This is the model information here, in addition to the other label, the cpn12xc9. And it's a good little unit. I'd like it to be quieter. When it cycles, it's a bit jarring, but you get used to it. It beats sweating all night. So there's a sensor here on the intake side, lets it know when to cycle down. And then this just exhausts the heat out. So you have a fairly self-contained shelf for the cold side and the hot side, compressor, a bunch of very fine copper work like this stuff here that you definitely don't want to be messing with. If this thing failed more drastically, a guy could actually take it apart, put this half outside and replumb everything and recharge it and have this half inside. I was thinking about that before I found this part. Now you'll notice on this guy here, very improved scrub radius going on this thing. Stronger side here than there. So kind of the opposite of this design. Definitely an improved part number. And again, I'll list that. When I took this apart after getting the faceplate off, I put all the screws from the outside in one bag and marked them with black on the heads. There are a few of different lengths, so I'm gonna have fun figuring those out, but I had no way of marking the plastics that it was coming off of in a way that would have been color discernible. For everything else, I used green for the most common length screw, which is, what is that, about almost a centimeter, half to the head. And these are just a very typical plastic, or screw for plastic. And so I marked those. This guy here is kind of hidden away, so I actually broke off some of the plastic to be able to get to it. I don't know how else a guy would. It was pretty weird how much you'd have to take apart to get this back together. But that's one of the longer ones. And then this guy here, these two at the bottom, these that I marked in blue, are kind of longer. And then everything else, including the ones holding in these capacitor units, which could also go bad, I suppose. Those are all the same length, which I marked in green. So when you take it apart, you'll want to mark everything and take pictures. But yeah, that's the take apart and the repair for this particular symptom. Hope to get a couple more years out of it because these things aren't cheap and money's not growing on trees these days. Good luck to you. Oh, and don't forget to open this when you're using it because that's not real good to hotbox it. All right.